Welcome to Podtendo, a Nintendo podcast, where they analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games.
We bought my son Brian several Mega Man games over the years. It seemed innocent enough. I mean, Mega Man's a good guy, right? But seriously, it got a little out of hand. It was Mega Man this, Mega Man that, Mega. But we've come to an understanding. It's homework, yard work, visiting grandma, then Mega Man.
Power up. There's a Mega Man for everybody. Mega Man, all the action you need. Each sold separately, rated E for everyone.
Oh, sorry, grandma. It's cheating.
Hey guys, welcome to the Podtendo podcast, where we analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games. We can be found on Twitter. Check us out on YouTube. That's the best place to get a hold of us. I know we're on other things, but I don't think anyone's checking. I don't even post on Instagram that much anymore. I'm your co-host, Mick, and I'm joined every episode by a lovely and talented co-host
Tyson.
Cool. Review, retrospective, pop culture Let's Play show. So that's what you're going to get today. We're going to review some games, talk about the pop cultural impact, talk about our experience playing the game, and then, I guess, retrospectively, to discuss the game to some extent. So there you go. That's what we're doing. We're doing the rest of the NES Mega Man trilogy, or six-ilogy today. So we're doing Mega Man's 4 through 6. It's a jam-packed Capcom Blue Buster show. Oh boy.
Yeah. Pretty jam-packed, because we rarely squeeze 3 games into one show, but I feel it's Mega Man games. We kind of got to group them all together, or we'd be here till December.
I've had this on the docket for years and years. I'm like, man, we have to finish all the Mega Man games. Tyson's like, I don't know. I know I did the original Mega Man game as a solo show. Mega Man 2, I kind of feel like we clumped it in with Castlevania 2 or something, right? 3 we had hit maybe a year ago, 2 years ago now. And then for some reason I just kept having it on the docket, and I was like, no, let's pull the Band-Aid off. Let's get off the NES. I think we have 2 more games on the NES kind of after this trilogy of games. And then we can kind of just put a rest to that system, right? Move on to kind of bigger and better things, not have to look back into the rearview mirror at the little guy that's been dragging along. So this is the kind of wrap up. A good series, a great NES series. Be frank, right off the top, I'll tell you, pretty good.
Yes.
If you like Mega Man,
yes.
You'll probably like the show. I had a good time. I think Tyson had a good time.
Yeah, and I think actually kind of playing a nice mix of all 3 of these games kind of gave me a fresh take on it, because I was kind of the one being like, we'll get to it. But playing all 3 of these games kind of gave me a nice oh, you know what? Each of these games has their own little flavor, and it's some are much harder than others.
Oh, and yeah, I think once you get past 3, I think that's probably the hardest game in the series, right? So 2, I think, is probably the better one. 3 holds up just equally as well. I don't know if it's as elite, right? Some of the weapon choices aren't there. And then, you get into this kind of mix of games, and they throw... some of them are simple. Like Mega Man 5, I don't even know if I use save states in that game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that one breezed past. 6 was also not too bad, just did things a little differently. Mm-hmm. 4 was, I think 4 is the hardest game I've ever, hardest Mega Man game I've ever played. But that's maybe because I just have I'm very magnetized to spikes, apparently. There's just spikes everywhere. And I think there's not a level that goes by without spikes.
Yeah, one of the games they love, they're like, spikes everywhere. Is that Mega Man 4? Yeah,
I think that's Mega Man 4, because it's hey, do you like spikes on the ceiling and spikes on the ground and spikes around these random posts, and you have these tiny little ledges to jump onto?
Great.
Yeah, have fun.
Awesome. Cool. So, there we go. So, I think we'll jump right into it. So we got 3 games to get through today, guys. Jam-packed show. Everything's going to be a little bit abridged, though, so it's not... Don't worry. You didn't download a 5-hour podcast. Probably close to an hour. So, we'll start with our first game, Mega Man 4. It was developed by Capcom. Sold 32.4 million copies. So that's why we saw so many Mega Man games, because people could not get enough of this. It was released December 6th, 1991, just in time for the holiday season. How long to beat has this game? I didn't fill that part of the notes out on any of them. Call it I don't know, an hour? How?
Hour and a half, probably. Especially for 4, because 4 kind of has 2 endings.
Yeah, 3.5 hours. Okay, cool.
yeah.
And I'll just queue up the other ones, so then we don't ever have to pretend like I didn't write them in. Price at release was $59.99. If you factored in inflation, that'd be... I didn't do that part either. $12 today. Wow. Inflation works crazily some days. eBay, you can find a copy of this game for $56. It's expensive. eShop. It doesn't exist, guys. Because the 3DS and Wii U are now closed, I don't know if you can buy an individual copy of Mega Man 4 anywhere, but the Legacy Collection is $20. It was on sale a couple weeks ago because it's Capcom. Capcom was always on sale. Like, it was $8. I didn't buy it on my Switch because I have it on my 3DS and I have it on my PS4, and I've got like a 3DS physical copy and a PS4 physical copy, and I was like, I probably don't need to buy it again. I could probably just pull up my 3DS, so I didn't buy it. But again, it's very, very affordable. Where to play? You can play it on a Wii, 3DS, PS2, PS4, Xbox. If you're interested in playing any of these games, buy the Mega Man Legacy Collection. It's on the Switch. It's available on current gen, I think. It's probably worth the $8 on sale. Let's put it that way. It's a good series of games. It'll entertain you for a couple hours.
Yeah, I grabbed this and the Legacy Collection 1 and 2 for like less than $20 Canadian. So that's like $15.
Perfect.
With real money.
Yeah. I think I have multiple Legacy, and I have like old collections. Like I have one for the PS2. I think I bought, there was some random vintage game shop when I was up visiting you once. And that was one of the games I had. So like on the PS2, I have all the original Mega Man games, right? It's everywhere. It's Capcom. They keep releasing. They keep making stuff. It's great. But before we get into this game and the nitty gritty and talk about it, we got to talk about what did life look like back December 6th, 1991. So I looked specifically in the month rather than doing a big blown out show. We just got a couple cute categories. So the top TV shows you could be watching right now, according to Wikipedia or Google, the highest rated shows anyways were 60 Minutes, Roseanne, Murphy Brown, Cheers, and Home Improvement. Okay.
That's definitely some TV.
That is a 91, if that's anything. Top movies you could see this month is Star Trek 6, the Forbidden Country? No, what's it called? I didn't write down the tag because I was like, I won't even mention it. The Forbidden something Country. Shoot. We could also see JFK, The Last Boy Scout, Prince of Tides, and Fried Green Tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the
Undiscovered Country.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny that as soon as you looked it up, I knew it. Okay.
Yep. That's weird how that works. Yeah. Also Hook. So some interesting stuff.
Oh, Hook. I missed Hook. Yeah. Man, that's pretty solid. Like Hook isn't as good as you think it is. Go back and watch it, and you'll be like, yeah, this aged poorly, didn't it?
Yes. But that food fight still, like whatever that mushy potatoes or whatever thing they're throwing around.
Go into a mall and just yell out, Rufio, Rufy. And I bet you get like 5 middle-aged men going, oh!
I remember doing that in high school volleyball because we were lame.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I had volleyball, basketball, even into college. You start have some drinks in you and like Rufio comes out. Fried Green Tomatoes, if you want to see a movie about murder and cannibalism, that's the ticket. It's not bad.
What?
Yeah.
Is that what that movie's about?
Yeah, the ending is they kill her husband and they feed the cops. They make burgers out of the husband and feed them to the police officers.
Oh.
I'm not even fucking kidding. That's what happens. Yeah, go back and watch it. The movie that we watched as a kid with mom, it's got Kathy Bates in it. It's a delightful little story. Fucking straight up cannibalism.
Yep, sure enough. I'm just on Wikipedia now. Yep. Holy moly. That's interesting. I did not know that's... And then she won it. Did she win an Oscar for the sucker?
I don't know. I don't know if it received any awards. Again, solid. I'm sure the book is fine, right? Like, if you went back and read the book, it's a fun little romp. But yeah, just be careful. Cannibalism. Top video games released this month. We saw Tecmo Bowl, which I think we've discussed. So maybe we've been here before. And Civilization. So some pretty big games. And top song this month was Michael Jackson's Black or White.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. So that's...
yeah. Very neat, very neat. This is, I think, MJ and Slash are collaborating right now. So
maybe that is it. Maybe I saw that somewhere. But Okay, so that's where we're at, kind of. So the development details of this fun game. There were little to no issues with the team that worked on Mega Man 4. Okay. They originally were going to use, or to make Dr. Cossack American and name him Dr. Vice, but opted for a Russia theme instead. Eddie, he's a little robot that gives you power-ups, either like energy or weapon, or E-Tanks if you just kind of leave and come back. There's a game hack for you. Was a holdover from Mega Man 2. He is meant to be an in-game lottery. Oh. Hayato Kaju was credited with the Mega Buster. Adding a 2 and 3 level charge gun would alter the way players would interact with levels. So this was actually the introduction of the aforementioned Mega Buster. You know, you always just call Mega Man's gun the Mega Buster? Technically, you were wrong until Mega Man 4.
Interesting. Finally adding that lore we've all been waiting for in a Mega Man game.
Oh boy, that's what we wanted. The Robot Masters are results of a design contest held in Japan. Over 70,000 submissions, resulting in the design of the team. The team needed extra time to whittle the field down to 8. Okay, that's 70,000 to 8, yeah, sure. And the 8 winners were given golden cartridges, which are extremely rare and fetch a large price today. So you thought $56 on eBay for a copy of Mega Man 4. Try and get the gold cartridge, and you'll be, more broke than probably $56. So,
yeah, probably 57 at least.
Oh, I don't know if I can afford that. And finally, the controls of this game. Wait. Anything cultural significant or Wayback Machine development details stand out to you?
Nah, it's kind of like, it's interesting that they were, Dr. Cossack is in this game, and there's no Dr. Wily for some reason, which is kind of like, intrigue. And I'm glad that, like, man, they've kind of really just kept doing little things and kept refining Mega Man, which is why there's probably 6 of them. On just the original Nintendo alone, but I gotta know. I really like Eddie. Eddie's my boy.
Yeah.
He always used to give me some extra lives, even though I didn't need them because I was using save states.
E-Tanks. I'd go with E-Tanks. Just keep re-going until you get an E-Tank, and then you're like, haha, now I have 9 of them, and I'm at Dr. Wily, so I probably don't need them. Great, awesome.
Yep.
I might have ran low on supplies on one of them. I think it was Mega Man. It might have been this one, where I was down to like an E-Tank and a life towards the end at the last battle. And I was like, well, use everything accordingly. And I did all right.
Yeah. And I mean, there's sometimes like the weapons just completely, like you get so little use of them and they're just depleted.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
Yeah. So the controls for this fun game, you can jump and shoot while platform and attack enemies. You can press down to slide. You can use various weapons from different robot masters. The weapons are obtained by defeating them, and you have to complete all 8 stages before you can head into the end game. Oh boy, so the story of Mega Man 4. Mega Man 4 takes place in an unspecified year in the 21st century, described as the year 20XX, so it hasn't happened yet, which is good. 1 year after the events of Mega Man 3, a mysterious Russian scientist named Dr. Cossack unleashes an army of robots with the intention of world domination. Of course! Much like Dr. Wily before him, Dr. Light calls upon his own greatest creation, the hero Mega Man, to go after the Cossacks' robot masters who have seized control of 8 cities. Awesome. Fuck it. Yeah, that's the sound effects you got. Sorry.
You were like, I could clip this. Nah, it's too much work. Yeah. It's kind of interesting, the Mega Man stories. After playing the first one, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. It's not super shocking or whatever, but after the 6th one, we'll discuss stories.
Probably. Story is just there to set up a game, maybe a plot twist in a game.
Or to be fair, you blink and you miss it, and you're just like, I'm just a guy running around shooting stuff.
That is totally fine. That's a totally fine way to be. So we're going to run through these bosses. I don't got a lot to say. Oh boy, I don't have a lot to say on any of these. Mostly because I might have played Mega Man 4 and like been done 5 and then started writing the notes, and I got back to some of these bosses and I was like, buh. I don't know. So starting off, you want to start with Toadman. There's a lot of water hazards, and he jumps and you shoot him, and then he just jumps over you and you shoot him again. and then he just jumps over you, and then you shoot him again. And you basically repeat that until he dies. And I was like, I see why you wanted me to start with Toadman. All right.
Yeah, kind of a tricky level, but he's a complete pushover. Yeah, and he only has 2 moves. He has that, and then like his other attack where he like not jumps at you. He has like, he does the acid rain. Yeah, that's what it is.
I never got that far. I literally shot him, and he jumped up, and I went under him, and then I shot him again, and then he jumped over me, and I was like, oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, you just shuffle back and forth.
Great.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
It's easy. Can't complain. It's this one's super straightforward. I actually played this like twice because I was originally playing on my Xbox, and then I was like, save states instead of rewind features would be so nice right now.
Yes,
so.
Very much so. All right, so then the next guy I thought was named Brightman, but he clearly is Bridget Man, because that's how I spelt it. There were some tricky jumps here, and some enemies that play with lights. So if you kill them, it gets dark, and you don't know where you're going. And this doesn't work with some tight platforming control, so you got to be careful who you kill. But I think you can also turn lights back on. There's like little guys, and they shoot firecrackers in the air and light up the sky. It's cute. The boss here, Rain Flash. You use it a couple times, he dies. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what Brightman looks like or does, but I know he dies very quickly.
Yeah. I appreciate him and his ability to die so easily to just Toadman's acid rain.
Yeah.
Like you just press it, when I think the music stops, you just press it again.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's great. From there, we head on to Pharaoh Man. Just like you think Pharaohs, what do you think? There's probably some sand puzzles along the way. That's basically what happens. And he apparently just freezes with the Brightman's attack. So you hit that, and he just freezes. And then he doesn't do anything. You hit it again, and then that's it. And you're like, I'm not really being challenged today, am I?
Yeah, you can actually get it so he just stays literally frozen throughout the whole battle. Mm-hmm. He's tough. This guy's real tricky, you know.
They get tougher. Apparently, I think this next one, so we don't have to Ring Man. His stage was called Space Simulator. There was a couple stages. They all just blend together in the end. I'm sure there was a platforming challenge, some type of theme, but I don't remember anything about Ring Man's stage, to be honest with you.
It's low gravity, so you can jump super high.
Oh, that's cute. The boss here, he was tough. The Pharaoh shot needs to be fully charged, so you need to be able to hold it. Kind of creates like a... what's it called? Spirit bomb attack, like Goku's kind of spirit bomb above your head, and you can run into him. So it proves to be a good challenge. Awesome, great. We need more challenges. So first guy, 4 bosses down, 25% of them were tough.
Yeah. I mean, the levels were difficult, but the bosses were fairly easy, which I appreciate because we know in Mega Man games we're going to get a couple boss rushes. So
yeah, that's definitely coming. Did they coin the boss rush? I mean, probably.
Either that or they ran with it as their theme.
They popularized it. That's what it said. Yeah, okay, all right, cool. So Ring Man. So then that takes us to Dust Man. He lives in a junkyard. Cool. All right.
Oh yes. Yeah. And he blows you away or sucks you towards him.
Yeah. You need to learn his pattern and must avoid some attacks to win. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Accurate.
This takes you to, man, everyone loves this guy. Our next guy is Skull Man. He has a bone theme level, as in like the walls are kind of made of bones. Oh, awesome. And if you keep your distance, you should be able to overpower him with the ring shot, which I believe acts like kind of a little yo-yo. Or maybe not. Maybe that's a different item.
I think Skullman just has a shield.
Yeah, he has a shield, but I mean the ring shot is like kind of like a yo-yo. Like you shoot it out and it comes back.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Actually, I really like Skullman. I think so. I started because I just didn't look up which one to play first. I was just like, whatever. I'll just play this one. And I found his level is the easiest, but he's kind of tricky.
Okay.
Which was a nice change to, let's say, Frogman, who they say to do first, which the level's kind of tricky, and he's a complete pushover. So.
Awesome. Yeah, Skullman, I think we'll talk about like popular Robot Masters, and his name popped up on lots of lists. So people love this guy. They did whoever created him. Good work. From here though, you head to Dive Man. So his theme is called the Ocean Base. You have to fight underwater. There's like fights with a whale, which I kind of remember being tough because there was one where there's a big whale and there's a spike pit and you basically just sit there and just tank damage while you try and take them out. It kind of gets kind of a pain in the ass. And the boss, I don't remember him giving me a hard time in the slightest.
I think he does a charge move that just takes off a ton of health.
Yeah.
But he kind of...
But whatever, like, Skullman's shield must just, like, make short work of him or something like that, right? Where you're just like, oh, that's easy.
Yeah, well, I think you turn it on, hit him, and also, like, well, the only hard part is just remembering to turn it on again.
Gotcha.
As soon as you probably get hit by his stupid missiles. What am I trying to say? His stupid missiles. But yeah, he's all right. I think I remember with this level, I just used the, like, we didn't talk about what's your buddy?
Oh, Rush, the dog.
Rush, yeah. You use your Rush. He has a little sub
that
you can get, and I'm like, it's the only water level I'm using the sub.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Subs. He has the Rush coil, which helps you jump high, and then the Rush jet.
Yes.
Which is a little bit nerfed in this game. I don't know. I didn't find great uses for those ones. In fact, the Rush jet, I think, for the platforming, kind of made things more difficult.
Yeah, because it makes your hitbox so tight, and like I said, every single level there's a bloody spike pit somewhere. So.
Yeah. And then finally, we end with Drill Man. His stage is called Ore Mines. When I write that, it means I probably don't remember a lot about you. I know he dives under the ground and he jumps out at you. He wasn't that difficult in the slightest. You just kind of move back and forth. And I think Dive Man gives you like a trident. So you throw a trident at him. That's it. Just like Brick and Anchorman's classic fight. You kill him out with a trident, and then you move on with your life.
Basically.
All right. Cool. But when that happens, though, finally it unlocks. You've saved 8 cities. You've defeated 8 masters. You're now powered up. You can go after Dr. Cossack. Cool. Because he's in Russia, there's a lot of snow. Every little section has like a mini boss or like a big boss. I like the machine room. So there's this kind of room that like slides. There's like top pieces. It'll try and crush you, but you can slide under it. And then you have to jump inside, hit an elevator, hit a little red light to damage it. I like that boss. It was good. I like the timing. It was kind of creative. Added a little something extra to it. So it was all right.
Yeah. I might get my memory mixed up, but I remember there's like a platform that you, like, when you shoot it, then it comes over, so you can almost control it. But I might be mixing up my bosses.
Yeah, no, that is not the room. At least that's the guy I'm talking about. That might have been one of the other ones, but this one specifically, it's kind of like a sliding, like the top and the roof and the floor kind of move, and the middle of the room move together, and they like intersect through the room. And you have to jump inside of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
Like, guys, you play 3 Mega Man games in like the course of 2 weeks. They do blend together a little bit.
Yeah. So, well, for me, this one's actually like I think 3 or 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to give myself a little extra.
I might be at 3 weeks too.
I suck at Mega Man games. So.
This game was probably the most difficult, but the more you play it, by the time I got to Mega Man 6, I was playing extended periods of time. I was playing whole stages without save states, right? Like, I was able to be like, oh yeah, jump here, jump that, oh, watch that, okay, use this power up there. You know, you kind of get the flow of things, so you do get better at it, but it's just a practice thing, right? And yeah, if you're not the best, well, it is what it is.
And I found, like, and 4 was just extra tricky. Like, the difference between 4 and 5 or 4 and 6 is staggering. How almost, like, not easy, but more approachable those games are.
Yeah, okay. And then we're on to Dr. Cossack himself. So once, I think he's in a machine, once you defeat him, Proto Man appears with his daughter. It turns out Dr. Wily stole his daughter and was forcing him to attack as a ransom. Now that this matter is closed up, though, let's go fight Dr. Wily. Dr. Wily stages. We fight 2 bosses, a boss rush, and then Dr. Wily in a hover car. And I think like the Pharaoh shot is his weakness. So if you just kind of charge it up over your head and you just run around the screen, eventually he runs into it and dies. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. Any notes on Dr. Cossack or Dr. Wily or the twist? Did you see the twist coming?
I did not see the twist because I kind of figured that I'm like, this might be one of the games that he's not in it. No, it's always Dr. Wily. It's always
Dr. Wily. Yeah.
But kind of cool that they did it like the 2-stager, which was so.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad you like that, and definitely probably have to do it in the next 2 games too.
Oh, I know, and that's why I was like, this first one seems fresh and not like it's used like a simple template that they just copied and pasted.
Yes. As much credit as I give to these Mega Man games, they're fun. You know, you get 8 stages. They're a good challenge. They actually are possible to be beaten. Some of them games, actually, the later games get so easy that a game over just results in you getting everything charged up and a new set of lives, and you just go about, and like, even if you have energy tanks, they just carry over. So the only benefit to, like, the only cost to dying is you get fully recharged weapons.
Yeah, what a tragedy.
Right, so you could power through these, right? And basically they have really good mechanics. They build their stages incredibly well. They in a safe environment, they introduce an obstacle. Then they'll introduce another obstacle, and now they mix the 2 obstacles together. Capcom does an excellent job in the level design. Each of these stages, as forgettable as they might be, they're tight. The game mechanics, they're well constructed. You know, you could nitpick and maybe take them apart, but realistically, you're probably having a good time with these games, right? So just kind of throw that disclaimer out there as we kind of say, they get a little bit repetitive, but like, I get it, because you're basically just, you have to love the Mega Man formula, and every year you get basically a new installment into the late 80s and like early 90s here. So it's, if you like the game, you're basically just paying $50 to like play the next update on this format, right? Now they'd probably be game updates or DLC. These were kind of sold as like complete experiences.
Yeah, basically. And I mean, I think that it's the story I kind of dump on as being goofy and not good. But at the same time, it's like, it doesn't need to be there. It's just more like set dressing, because it is just about that gameplay loop. And when you nail a section, it's very, very like rewarding. Or if you just want to break it, these games, just like go enable some Game Genie cheats and just like have a blast, because these games are they should be enjoyed and played. It's kind of like, I love that they're in those like legacy collections, but it's weird that they're just not really like talked about. We just don't get, there's not more of these kind of things. Like, it seems like it'd be something that'd be so approachable that you could almost do like a Mega Man Maker.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think that'd be a lot of fun, because that's kind of what this reminds me of, is just like the game designers just know the system, and they're just like adding on to it and just making more levels and doing more things. And you're like, if this was nowadays, it'd be a free-to-play game that has season passes.
It'd be 5 years ago when they released Mega Man 11, and eventually until it's just an updated version of the same formula. And Capcom's like, if you guys buy enough of these, we'll just keep making them right up to 27 if we need to.
That's true. That's true. Capcom does like money.
Yeah, they do. So, ending of this game is you defeat Dr. Wily, and he's on the floor, and he's like, oh no! And then he stands up and goes through a trap door. His base self-destructs. You escape. You stand there and then you ride a train. And you're like, I did it, guys. I saved the world. Did you?
Yeah, why are you on that train?
Yeah, like, why didn't you go after him? I mean, I'm sure the revolving door worked the second time.
Well, and it's like, you know what? This is now the 4th time you've destroyed his base.
Yeah.
Does he maybe have another base?
Why don't they, like...
No, the world is saved. Yeah. And they're like...
Did he have all the bases built originally, or does he spend a year building his fortress? Because just, like...
He has robots.
Use satellites.
So I think he just has robots to go build other, like, bases. Okay. And if he's just like, hey, build me 26 bases, they're going to be like, okay. The robots.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, he has an army of robots.
Okay, fair enough. So that wraps up our first game, Mega Man 4. Off to Mega Man 5. So, a year later, man, you're down and out. You're like, I just want Mega Man. Capcom delivered, because Mega Man 5 was developed by Capcom. It sold 16.2 million. What's that, half of the first game we talked about? Yeah, pretty close. So, slightly declining. But at this point, too, 92... December 4th, 92 specifically, we have seen the Super Nintendo, right? So they've lost probably a little bit of market shares. The Sega is probably pretty popular too, right? Sega does what Nintendo don't. How Long to Beat has this game at 3 hours and 7 minutes specifically. Price at release was $49.99. If you factor in inflation, that'd be $55.12 today. On eBay, you can get a copy of this game from $176 to $260. What's happening? Why is this game...
Wow. people really like, maybe because there's not 32 million of them floating
Yeah.
around somewhere.
Well, I think like Mega Man.
There's only 16.
Mega Man 2,
the price is 4 times as much.
Mega Man 2 is one of the better Mega Man of the original 6 Mega Man NES games. Anyways, those games like dirt cheap. These other ones that aren't as good, you have to chill out like half a day's worth of work just to get one. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit much. It's a bit much.
Obviously, we're to play same as the first game, so we're not going to go over that. But we are going to look at our brand new Wayback Machine. We have our flux capacitor still clicking a little bit. We still have a little bit of juice, so we still can travel back to December 4th, 1992. What was life like? So the top shows were, at least for TV shows, that is, were 60 Minutes, Roseanne, Home Improvement, Murphy Brown, and Murder, She Wrote.
Okay. It's getting better.
So Andy Rooney and a bunch of women at the top of the. That's kind of neat, right? We're seeing some strong females on television. That's not bad.
Oh yeah. Murder, She Wrote, sick.
Yeah.
Good show.
There you go. It's sick, as Tyson would say. Movies released this month. You could see A Few Good Men. Tyson, do you want to see Few Good Men?
Is this that Tom Cruise movie?
No, I want the truth. I don't know.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Forever Young, Toys, and Scent of a Woman. Hooah!
Huh. Some blank spots in my brain. I don't know these movies. I don't think I've seen any of these.
Really?
Yeah.
But like,
never watched Few Good Men because I care less. No idea what Forever Young is. And I think Toys is that.
say it. You know what it is. Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like, yeah, but I've never seen that movie, and Scent of a Woman, couldn't tell you.
I know I rented it once. It's weird. I don't know. I feel like there's like a big like water pit with a monster in it or something in Toys. It's like, yeah. Like I think literally the ending is like somebody falls into a water pit where there's a monster and they die.
Oh.
But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what movie that is. If you know what movie I'm talking about, that would be great because I'm like,
You're probably right. But I've never seen this.
Okay.
This is.
There you go. So there you go. Now you have something to do. Top video games released this month was Dune 2 and Fatal Fury 2. Okay, all right.
Ooh.
And the only song on the charts in December of 1992 was "I Will Always Love You" by Whitney Houston. And that is where we were at. I figured we shouldn't spend a lot of time because we've probably been to some of these places before.
Yeah. So.
All right. Development details. So with new leadership on the development team, they thought they should turn down the difficulty in Mega Man 5. Since they maxed out gameplay in Mega Man 4, they decided to reintroduce old mechanics. They had another fan-developed set of robots. This time they got 130,000 submissions. The idea behind Beat the Bird had been around since Mega Man 3. Okay, cool.
Cool. I do like Beat. He messes shit up.
Yeah.
But I didn't even realize he was a thing because I wasn't following a guide. And then I realized he's in 6 as well. So he kind of comes a recurring character. Same with Rush. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Rush has been around since the beginning. Yeah, but like essentially they're trying to build out your arsenal of little friends you can have, and I'm sure there's some marketing that happens there. Beat. So the new controls, nothing new. You can collect 8 letters in each level to spell out Mega Man V or Mega Man 5 and unlock a bird named Beat. It's kind of cute. He flies around. He kills stuff. He might be Wily's Achilles heel in this game. So get him.
Yep. You definitely need him if you want to beat Wily because he may predict where he's going.
And the the letters might be as easy as they're just standing on a platform for you to grab. They might be a really tricky section while you're on a little speedboat on an ocean, or they might be in a hidden wall for no reason, and you play Rock Band stage 17 times looking for it because you're like, where the hell is it? Why did they decide to hide the one letter in this whole game?
Yeah, the one hidden letter. That was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
There is also I think there's one spot where it looks like a bottomless pit, but if you just go down, it's another spot.
Yeah.
You're like, really, you bastards.
I mean, they have to hide one, but why are 6 easy to find and 2 hidden? No idea.
No idea.
Okay. All right. So the story. Oh no, go ahead.
Definitely look for them.
All right.
Definitely look for them. So.
Any comments on
Nope.
development details? No, way back. Still
Nah.
controls. All right, so down to the story of Mega Man 5's brother against brother, and this is straight from the game manual. Dr. Cossack, or Cossack to Mega Man, Cossack to Mega Man, Cossack to Mega Man. Proto Man has gone wild. I don't know if that's very good Russian, but I thought wild was funny. City Hall and the spaceports have been totally destroyed, and the city's power grid is in shambles. I've never seen such destruction on this scale before. I know you're worried about Dr. Light, but your first duty is to free the city from the grip of Proto Man's robots. I can modify your reactor to give the Mega Buster a little more power, but the rest is up to you. Dr. Light and I have been working on a special project, but it's not yet finished. Maybe if we can get it working, it might give you an edge. Remember to watch your back, Mega Man. Proto Man seems to have become more ruthless than we thought possible. Good luck! Cossack, out. I don't know why his voice changed so much. They really should have fired that actor that went there.
Yeah. It's hard doing accents for an extended period of time. I usually just can get through a sentence and then I'm like,
Yeah.
You get my drift.
Yeah, I need to practice more. I think my accent game's a little... And it's politically correct to do accents, so that's why I don't do them. Not because I can't.
Yes.
I'm just such PC. So there you go. I remember at some point in this game, part of me going through these games was I wanted to find manuals online and dive through and get the physical and have that tactile relationship with these games. And then I kind of forgot about it, and just as I was making the notes today, I was like, oh, I wonder what the story is from this game from the notes point of view. So I put a little cute picture of Proto Man standing there with his little bandana. So cute.
Nice.
But it's such a good look.
Yeah.
You know, that red, and then have that little bit of yellow coming off.
Yeah, it's
being
kind of like a motorcycle helmet.
being like
thing
a
going
side
on.
character to a blue guy. I wonder if they'll ever make another character that kind of looks like that in the future.
We'll never know. We'll never know. I mean, it's I always wanted to. I think collecting the Nintendo powers at this time would be fun because they always had fun art.
Yeah.
That was half the fun. It was just like, here's the cool little art bits because the characters and all the they're not called robot masters or what the heck they used to be called, but the bosses always have really cool designs. I think that they are. That was one of the most appealing things of them. So when they had these art contests, they would just get flooded, which is, man, I wish I want to see every one of those. Capcom release an art book of all this stuff.
I feel like publication getting the rights to that would almost unless of course you had a contract by submitting anything to this contest, you're giving up the rights to it. Probably would be,
I think that's 100% what they did.
Yeah,
but it'd be just kind of like a rep thing. Hey, I actually designed this. Here's my original art.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
But
Right.
yeah.
So, what are you doing? You can make a book. Just go out and find pictures and send it to a publisher and make some coin. There we go. That's how books are made. Level notes. So as we play through this game, we start out title screen. Level notes. So we start off because the guide told us to a Starman. I don't remember this level. Probably has something to do with stars. So yeah. And
low gravity. Is this one in space?
no, Gravity Man is probably low gravity. I don't know what Starman does.
No, I think this one's got to have low gravity.
No, Gravity Man has low gravity.
No, he has the floppy gravity.
Oh. Yeah, again, I don't... Anyways, the boss here, very easy first boss fight. Take him down with the Mega Buster. Cool.
Yes.
Oh,
But
yeah.
definitely.
He has a shield, and you just kind of, jump over his shield and then shoot him, and then... Okay, yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. He is, I think he has a reverse star for an outfit. Yeah. It's an upside-down star. Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
Neat. All right, so then from there we head to Gravity Man's. This is a pretty neat level. There are these arrows, and they can send you to the roof or send you to the floor, depending kind of which way they're pointing. Some sections you have to play upside down. It's a little tricky. You have to fall upwards into ceilings if you're on the roof. Instead of having bottomless pits, you fall down, you fall up. It's neat. I like it. I like it a lot. The boss here uses Star Shield, and then as you kind of swap orientation, so if he's on the roof, you're on the floor, and then he kind of changes it. You kind of have to try and land beside him with the Star Shield to land damage and take out this boss. it's good. I don't know. Of all the levels we played, this is definitely one of the most unique. It stays in my mind. I'm like, yeah, cool. I like it.
Yeah, I dig this one a lot. And I think this just lets them kind of flex their game design and their level design. Because honestly, that's the best part of Mega Man games. It's just like how all these like little levels like link up, and every like you got to think every level has to kind of seem unique and fresh, even though they have really limited assets. And I think they do an incredible job. I complain about spike pits, but that's just me being bad at platforming.
Yeah.
But yeah, very. This is a solid level, very solid.
Nice. So from there we head to Crystal Man. There was lots of falling items in this level. If you use Starman's shield, prevents knockback, and you can actually get over some of these basically cheap deaths, right? So it's kind of nice. They actually force you to use a weapon to kind of help you through a level. That doesn't happen very frequently, right? So not since like the Leaf Shield and Mega Man 2 have actually used a shield outside of a level, right? So I was like, oh, cool. And then Gyro Man's weapon is the strongest in the game, so I can't imagine Crystal Man is that hard. He probably just dies really quickly, and you're like, oh, neat, cool.
Yeah. I think the crystal parts are kind of like a little tricky, but with the shield, it helps. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Napalm Man is our next destination. This stage has like, I think you're in a jungle, and then you go to like underground section, and I was like, oh, are they doing like a Vietnam thing? And I was like, that's sad. Napalm was bad.
Yeah,
you guys,
U.S.
committed war crimes. That's bad. But I think Gyro Man's weapon must have made him really easy, because I don't remember him giving me any trouble. There you go, Napalm Man, suck it.
Yeah, as a boss, he sucks. Cool colors, but other than that, kind of meh.
Yeah. And a shitty weapon, so I don't know what are you good for? Also,
yeah, I think
what child is like, Napalm Man? That's an idea they haven't used before. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Huh. All right.
And also weird of Capcom to be like, this is the winner of several thousand submissions. Yes, Napalm.
All right, let's get some.
Jesus. I guess you need a fire guy in every game?
True. Yeah, I guess that's a different way of doing fire. Okay, so then you need like a rock man or a stone man, as it were, because that's the next place you're going. There's some stones in it. I got really good at this level. I had to play it like 6 times. I couldn't find the beat the beat letter. It was tricky, but again, I was able to like beat this level without trying, which I thought was pretty good. He's not very tough. You just kind of like throw the napalm bomb on the ground. He gets hurt, and that's it. You just avoid his jump attack, and you're like, done. Easy. Stone Man out.
Yeah. And he literally just jumps. Just jumps.
And sometimes he falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not good.
He is not good. Then, after this, we're off to Charge Man. So you play through a train-themed stage, and you come face-to-face with the single greatest Mega Man boss, Charge Man. He's a train, and by God, he is awesome. He's super sturdy. Yeah. He has a decent attack. This Stone Man's weapon, it kind of comes out in a spiral. Super hard to get the timing down on this. He's actually the reason we aren't doing a boss draft at the end of this episode. Because if you don't get Charge Man, you basically lose. The winner, obviously, is Charge Man. He's a train. He's awesome. He's my favorite. This is it. I couldn't be more excited. I played Mega Man 5 because I found my spirit animal, and he is Charge Man.
Yeah, he's pretty sweet. Like, he's that standout of all these, like, man. Charge Man, he's a train. He's a freaking train. Coolest boss.
Oh, best. I was so stoked when I was playing him. I was like, this guy's amazing. I love him so much. Like, he's great. This guy, I had to kill him twice, but maybe I can own him because I've defeated him so much.
Yeah, it's like, do they make many figures of this guy? Because the only one I want is Charge Man.
Wait a second. So our next place, we go to Wave Man, which is a water-themed area that has a bad boat section. And it's not bad. It's just like, I don't know, kind of like jump and shoot. And if you didn't have save states, you missed that letter, you'd be like, I got to do that all over again. I hate it so much. On the boss here, he looked kind of cool and had a trident. So that wave boss or whatever from the first Mega Man 4, I don't know if had the trident, so I think I confused my water themed areas, or at least bosses.
Yeah, it's so easy to do because they all just like, there's always a water guy, and it's like, yeah, they're always in big bulky suits because there's this guy, and then there's a torpedo dude. And you're like,
Yeah.
what's the difference?
Another one had like
This
a
guy-
toad
this guy
guy that had like water too. So
Yeah, it's like this guy shoots waves instead of missiles.
I
And he has
guess.
a trident as a so
And however, though, if you use Charge Man's attack, which is like a sliding attack, you basically can just go underneath of him, deal damage. Of course, Charge Man, it's great. You come after him, you suck. So too bad we didn't end on Charge Man. We had to play the stupid. Although he looked cool, I'll be honest with you. Wade Man, he kind of had like a cool like Poseidon thing with a trident. I liked it. It was a good aesthetic.
Oh yeah. The designs of these characters are actually really, really solid.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a clear favorite, clear best. So
Definitively the greatest, the best. And from here, though, we have to go stop our pesky brother, apparently, who's Proto Man. I always kind of want, like, the one thing is I always want to know more about Proto Man, but I clearly understand he's just, I don't know what he is. Is he good? Is he bad?
he's Mega Man's brother, and he's red, and he has a scarf.
He does have a scarf. All right.
Sometimes he shows up and there's a whistle.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, neat. Okay. So these stages don't really do anything too new or interesting. They're a bit easier than the actual boss stages. And each stage is met with a color man. So it's like blue or purple. They have pretty easy patterns. If you figure out which weapon they're weak to, make short work of them, right? But also you can kind of suss them out with just the Mega Buster. Fully charged. Should be able to deal most of the damage. And I was like, great, cool. Come face to face with Proto Man himself. And he almost kills you in one shot. But guess what, guys? You hear, and the real Proto Man stops him. And he's like, this guy's just an imposter. Here's full health. And now your little bird can take down the fake Proto Man. And it turned out it was Dr. Wily the whole time. Son of a bitch.
Yep. And we defeated his crappy dark version, which can one-shot us in a second, and then the next time can't.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean,
What did Proto Man do?
I don't know.
He's so OP. He's so mysterious and so cool.
And we'll definitely never see that mechanic again where, like, a character almost kills you and then a red guy saves you and then you can fight him and then it's okay. Wait a second. That doesn't...
It's almost like they're building to something so that they can just remake it all.
Yeah.
And then just mix it all together.
I guess the problem with playing every Mega Man game is they eventually just run out of ideas. And you're like, oh, I see. They did the same thing in X. Ah, okay. Well then. Well then.
I guess now I get the reference.
Yeah,
'Cause
perfect.
Mega Man X is essentially just Mega Man.
Yeah,
but
it's just like Mega Man's 1 through 6, just in one game that looks nicer. Cool, great. Dr. Wily stages. Nothing special here. Use your A-tanks and extra lives sparingly, and you should be able to make short work of the final few stages. He has like a stomping flying saucer, a skull car that shoots balls, which I think was kind of tough. And then finally he flies around in a little capsule thing. You throw beat out, and he just attacks him. You just don't die, and that's it. And then after defeating Dr. Wily, Mega Man chases Dr. Wily and rescues Dr. Light. However, the roof begins to collapse, and Mega Man has to use his tremendous strength to stop it, which I was like, wow, you're really strong. Proto Man's whistle is heard, and Dr. Light and Mega Man escape the collapsing base.
yeah. But Dr. Wily gets away again.
Yeah.
For another day. It's almost like they're planning for another one.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not as bloodthirsty as, what was it, 3? Where he, like, when he gets Dr. Wily on the ground, he just starts charging up his gun, standing there looking at him, and you're like, wait, is Mega Man gonna kill Dr. Wily? That's kind of twisted. Huh. I mean, you can't do that, because you gotta keep playing these games again and again, so...
You need to buy another... Maybe you guys need to just buy more of these games.
Yeah,
'Cause
and just
you
like
know what?
Yoda told Luke Skywalker, you can't kill Darth Vader because then you'll have no one to fight in the sequel.
But think of the box office of the next one.
Yeah, that's exactly. He's like, you can't. You got to keep. These movies have to keep coming out for like the next 50 years. You can't just kill the boss now. That'd be silly.
Yeah. What are we going to do? Bring them back randomly? People would ask questions.
It's true. You can't have that. Can't have that at all. And then finally, guys, we've done it. We went through 5 Mega Man games on the NES. Although, Tyson, did you ever play Mega Man 1 or 2?
No.
Okay.
No.
No, you must play 2, because like we did it on the podcast. Mega Man 1 was a solo.
I never played Mega Man 1.
Okay.
But 2 I've definitely played because it has a just for the soundtrack alone.
Yeah.
I will happily lose and fall on my face just to listen.
So in
to
theory,
that.
you should like power if you played Mega Man 1, then you'd have them all under your belt. Okay, cool.
True.
All right. So Mega Man 6, one of the final games released. I don't know if I mentioned it on the NES, and one of the last NES games we're ever doing. Okay. Anyways, so it was developed by Capcom. It only sold 8 million copies. I mean, we're in March of '94. That's fair. The PlayStation's like 2 years away at this point. Yeah, I could see people not wanting to buy NES games. It makes sense. How Long to Beat has this game at 2 hours and 43 minutes. Price at release was $59 or $49.99. If you factor in inflation, that'd be $66.42 today. eBay price. There is one for $1,200 for just the cartridge. And then there's another one that's $110 for a boxed copy. So we're not sure what Mega Man 6 is actually worth right now.
Yeah, it could be anywhere from 110 to 1241 for a busted cart.
Yeah, so like if you wanted like a nice boxed copy, 110, it might be worth 110, but it also might be worth $1,200, maybe
Could
more.
be.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
You never know. I don't know how eBay works.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But
I'm not sure if I'm gonna. Asking and selling are different prices, obviously. Onto our Wayback Machine. So our final trip back in time today. I think the flux capacitor. I think she can hold out. Although we might need a steam powered train to get us home after this one. March 15th, 1994. The top shows, according to Wikipedia, were ER, Seinfeld, Friends, Caroline in the City, and Monday Night Football. Are you ready for some football?
Oh, here comes the 90s. You can feel it.
Yeah. Get George Clooney, Jerry Seinfeld.
Friends.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sure there's a person in Friends that did something with their life. Jennifer Aniston. There you go.
Yep. She's in all those Adam Sandler movies now.
Great. Top movies this month specifically. You could see Man of the House, Outbreak, Candyman, Farewell to Flesh, Dolores Claiborne, and Major Payne.
Okay, interesting. Weird splattering of some horror movies in March for some reason.
Yeah. This seem. I mean, I guess are they trying to hit the? Oh no, it's too. I guess you want to be on VHS for October.
Yeah, be in the rental market.
Yeah. And then randomly someone will buy you Man of the House, and you're like, yeah, I want to watch Chevy Chase and Jonathan Taylor Thomas just hang out. That sounds sweet.
These are two actors that will always be on TV in movies.
And Chevy Chase did a pretty good job up until like maybe a decade ago of holding true to that promise. So JTT is the one who's failing us.
True. Wow. But I think if someone's going to make a comeback, it's going to be JTT because we're like 2-3 years away from that hair being back in style for some freaking reason.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas net worth. What do you think he's worth?
25 mil. 20 mil.
$12 million.
Dang. He could buy a lot of Mega Man carts for that.
Oh, wait, now it's around 16. Apparently, he continues to grow his net wealth. Okay, cool.
That's good. That's what people should strive to do.
There you go.
We did talk about Outbreak, but that's like pretty close to home these days.
What?
So.
You mean like some type of virus coming out of like some type of monkey overseas and people having to deal with it? What's his face? Morgan Freeman having to try and figure out what's going on?
Yep. And there's even Kevin Spacey who shows up.
Ooh. Top video games released this month. We saw Wario Woods, Kingsfield Marathon, and Heretic.
Oh, the first game in the Hexen, before Hexen.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because I think it's Hexen Destroy Heretic or whatever.
Oh, there's like lore to these games. Neat.
Yes.
Okay. And there were two songs that topped the charts this month, according to the Billboard charts. We had The Power of Love by Celine Dion and The Sign by Ace of Base.
Mm-hmm. You know, these two songs, they've never really left the consciousness or the popular culture, eh?
Not at all. They're still there. It's dopes and side. I don't know any of the lyrics to The Sign, so I can't make a witty reference. But there you go. That's our final experience. We'll see if we ever make it back. Maybe our time machine is just stuck in 94. We'll have to I guess wait till now and then go get it. Man, time travel is really easy. I don't know why they haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah. I just gotta watch Bill and Ted. They did it right.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So finally, the development details for the third time today. Mega Man 6 was developed at the same time as Mega Man X. They introduced the new power adapter as a natural evolution that he had been making in the previous 2 entries. So Rush, instead of having coils and jets, you can either have like a punchy fist to destroy blocks, or you can have a little jetpack that helps with platforming. In addition, in this edition of that's a bad sentence, of the fan makes of the boss. What am I doing here? 200,000 submissions. So there was 200 fan entered bosses for this one. 6 came from Japan and 2 from North America. Specifically, Nightman and Windman were North American entrants. So that's kind of cool. This game was one of the last few games released on the NES, including Star Tropic 2, Zoda's Revenge.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's, if we were going to really put a seal up the NES, I think we might need to touch a little Star Tropics 2 there, because I want to know what Zoda's Revenge is.
Well, that's kind of what we've been talking about this, and I was like, this is great. Like, we're wrapping up the NES. We're going to do probably Goonies 2 at some point, maybe in line with Goonies at some point. I wanted to play Crystallis because I believe it's one of the first video games I ever played, at least maybe one of the first games I played with like a friend somewhere who was introduced to, and I was like, man, that's cool. But yeah, Zoda's Revenge, I kind of forgot about it. Like, maybe we have to add a third game to the list. Maybe the NES isn't going away just yet.
Yeah, well, you know what? We can always hop in our time machine and go check out something.
There you go. Well, just get our time machine to pick us up a copy, and we go grab it from 7-Eleven later today. It'll be sitting there for us. Perfect.
Yep, because that's how it works.
Yeah. All right, controls. Nothing new. There are 2 adapters, kind of already went over that. Jet adapter to help you platform, and a power adapter to help you destroy platforms. You only need 4 letters to get beat now. I believe I only collected 3 and didn't care enough to get the 4th one. So
no, I was too busy running around with the power adapter and the hovercraft one and just breaking this game, because I was like, my goodness, this is what I wanted.
Yeah,
this is so much fun.
Yeah, I have actually a digital copy of Mega Man 2 and 6 that I've bought on my 3DS at some point, and I was like, maybe that's why I have this weird affinity from the Mega Man series, because I played 2, which is one of the better ones, and then this game, and I was like, well, no wonder I love Mega Man. Like, I just cut all the fat off, and I was like, there's the Mega Man on the NES experience. You play 2 and 6, whew, you're gonna have a great time.
Oh, you're gonna have a fantastic time. Like,
you're gonna be confused as to who Dr. Cossack is in the lore, but that's fine.
You know what? It's totally fine.
Yeah.
The you can just blink and then the story goes away.
Great, done, awesome, cool. Speaking of the story, Mega Man 6 story takes place after the events of Mega Man 5. To counter Dr. Wily's repeated attacks, the Global Robot Alliance was formed, and 1 year later, the first annual robot tournament is held to determine the world's strongest peacekeeping robot. God damn it, you guys. God damn it.
Like, seriously, you idiots.
The tournament is hosted by a man known as Mr. X. Are you serious? He's the mysterious of the leader of the mysterious X Foundation, and has many strong robots that participate. How is this? How are these people so stupid?
Gee, I wonder who this could be. This mysterious new person who
has a bunch of strong robots.
Okay. That just so happens to show up after another scientist.
Yeah.
Who looks very similar.
He's got white hair. That's all we'll say. All right, good. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. All right, so Dr. Light, a pacifist, decides not to enter the competition, but sends the robotic hero Mega Man to supervise it. Before the event can begin, however, Mr. X announces that he has reprogrammed 8 of the strongest contestants to do his bidding and is trying to take over the world. Of course.
But of course.
God damn it, guys. I've never felt...
It's almost like you guys are a bunch of idiots, and this is just a dumb setup for a video game that's more about the shooting and blasting than it is the
Stupid. Anyways, I guess we have 8 new robot masters to take down. We got to figure out this Dr. X is. Let's uncover that mystery and get into the level notes. Flame Man. That you have to fight over some fight over some oil pits that can be lit on fire. Neat. Flame Man, he wasn't too bad to take down with just the Mega Buster. Heh, sucker.
Yeah. Gotta have a flame guy in there, and they were smart enough to just use a synonym for fire or flame.
Smart. Next, though, we head to Blizzard Man. So there are some spikes, a boat that goes up and down, and a tide. Or it goes up and down with the tide. He's a skier. Kind of neat. But I think if you have, like, Charge Man's weapon, he's not very difficult, so...
Yeah, or Flame Man, because you just throw fire at him and you just...
But, he's kind of cool, but he is no Charge Man. I see. I'm still hung up on the train. I'm like, yeah, he's kind of neat. He's kind of like a fat little snowman that skis. And I'm like, cute.
He's on skis. Come on, he's pretty cute.
I'm like, he's not bad, but just no Charge Man. So, like, maybe he's one of the better bosses in this game, but, like, it's not quite
and
there.
I think, according to his bio, he doesn't like snowboarding. So, I mean, he's peak 90s.
He is peak 90s. Oh, yeah. So, from here, we'll head to Plant Man. I would have lost a lot of money if someone bet that Plant Man stage had plants. Okay. If someone bet me that Plant Man stage had plants. I'm so funny. You fight through a jungle. There may be a tiger enemy here. Cool.
Ooh, yes. And the tigers do lots of damage.
Yes.
And take a few hits.
Yeah, so make sure you have a fully charged gun before you like move the screen over and then jump at the right time. But then you want to jump too soon because then the like shot goes under them and you're like, load save state. Let's try that again.
Oh, the joys. That's missing a shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's a paddling the school canoe. Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So this guy, I think you just put his leaf shield and then you jump him. Maybe use a freeze man attack on him, but I don't think he's very tough.
No, he's super easy. But the blizzard attack has a nice spread to it.
Yeah.
So he's easy to take down.
Cool. Next we go to Tomahawk Man. So it's kind of a desert theme. He can be tough since you have to hit him with the plant barrier. And as far as I could tell, I couldn't throw it at him, so I had to be right beside him. I ran out of ammo and had to finish this fight with the Mega Buster.
Yeah. Leaf shield's definitely clutch here. Because his projectiles are just like they wreck you.
Yeah. Oh, he's tough. He's a tough guy. If we were doing like a boss, I'd be a top pick. Like Tomahawk Man, he did a lot of damage. He was pretty strong. So from there though, we head to Yamamoto Man. There are some spinning wheel platforms, which I kind of remember being kind of fun, but like also terrible for save states because I'm like, I guess I have to do it in one go. Because I don't want to save state on a platform and then have to like instantly start running, right? You throw the axes at him and outlast his spear, and he goes down. So the Silver Tomahawk, super, super powerful, makes short work of Yamamoto Man.
Yeah, that Tomahawk just wrecks people. Yeah. Really fun level. I think a pretty fun boss and cool design. Yeah, I like this one too.
Cool, great. From there though, we head to Nightman. So his level is called the Capital of Science, but it's like old castle. Like it's clearly just an old castle. So I don't understand what science is happening here, but it's a neat aesthetic, I suppose.
I like to pretend that he is a scientist.
Okay.
That he's like in his spare time, he's still walking around in his armor, but puts on a lab coat.
Sure. Okay, I guess. And the boss here made very short work of it, the Yamamoto Spear. Not that difficult. Although if you try and fight him without it, he's kind of tough because I think he has like a shield and his little boomerang thing can wreck you. So
yeah, and he's a fun design.
Yeah.
So.
All right. From there though, we had the Centaur Man. This is a weird water theme here. At one point you have to like jump high while underwater. And then at one point, there's like water above you, and it's got a tide. So you have to kind of like time your jump. So as the water is at its lowest point, you jump because you might be like in midair, and then if the water comes up, you just fall to your death. So it's neat. I don't understand how it works. Like how does water hang in the sky? But sure, why not? Centaur Man. He's a bit fast, but I think if you have the Nightman's yo-yo and like an E-tank or something like that, easy, no problem.
Yeah, and he does like attack where he just shoots, but he shoots. He's
Over
he's
you.
a tall sprite. He shoots over you.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I guess I'll stand here.
Yeah, or like slide under quick and then just spam it. It's not tough at all. From here, though, we get to our final boss, Windman. So there are some wind puzzles in this level. Oh, no, sorry. There are no wind puzzles in this level. Just kidding. They're all wind puzzles. I am just so funny when I write notes and then can't read them later, so...
Well, I like that you write a joke and then you forgot that you wrote the joke, and then until you're reading it,
Yeah.
and you're like, I like what I did here.
Oh, I don't remember anything. I don't remember playing this game. I don't remember making these notes. I won't remember making this podcast. And when I listen to it in like a month's time, because we might have a very good backlog at the moment, I'll be like, that's funny. Sometimes I tell myself jokes like in the future, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. Good job, me. All right.
Yeah, sometimes I listen to old podcasts just because I'm like, I know there's a joke in here, but I forget what it actually was.
Yeah.
So,
Then Centaur Flash, it's kind of like a nuke. I think it just hit him a couple times and he dies. So suck it, Windman, you idiot.
yeah. Is this the guy with the like the actual fans on him?
I think so. I think he just like kind of sucks you into himself, and as long as you keep distance, like he's super easy.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a boombox.
Yeah. I do. One thing I will do in these games is I like follow a guide. Yeah, cool. And then during the boss rush, I do enjoy kind of like what works. Do I remember? I'm not bad. I actually do pretty like, based on like, I'm like, okay, how much ammo do I have left for these guns? Well, I definitely haven't used the tomahawks yet, and I have like 2 left, so it's probably one of these. So I do kind of like playing through the boss rushes. But yeah, then there's a couple when you figure out that it's just like a screen nuke and you just like spam a button and he dies. You're like, oh, that was unsatisfying. But fun to try and help kind of figure that out at the boss rush stage, right? So
Yeah, and there's always a boss rush every Mega Man game without fail. So
no, this one's different. We're fighting Dr. X. He's a completely different character. So we're fighting Dr. X. Stage 1 has like a cool secret, and if you use the power armor, you can like punch through some glass. You find an area with a bunch of items. I think actually all these stages have multiple paths. That can be if you use the power adapter or the jet adapter, and you can kind of explore different branching paths. It's neat. It's cool. It's different, right? It kind of almost makes you think like, oh, I should go back and play Mega Man 6 at some point, and like instead of going up that ladder, I'll go this path and see what happens, right? So.
yeah, well, see, and that's where it's like I should probably just set up my hotkeys, for different save states, because then you could do like, on this one I'm gonna go this way, and that'll be, and you kind of like pick your path and replay it without having to replay the whole darn thing. So,
well, I mean, yeah, or you could play the whole game and have a fun experience because it was a fun Mega Man game. Yeah, you're right. I'll probably just use scam save states. But guess what, guys? We beat Dr. X. Turns out it's Dr. Wily the whole time. God, who would have thought?
I'm shocked. I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
This character who was brand new,
who has like Dr. X, just like Dr. Wily has above all those little doors. That's what he has. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know.
Let's see if you're paying attention there, kids.
Yeah, this is silly. So there's lots of branching paths in these final stages for sure. Some parts where there was one where as I was flying through some spikes, I noticed this little like platform, and I used the jet adapter to slow me down to get to it. And then it's just you fall down and you just collect a bunch of like refills on everything. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, kind of nice how they really stock you up near the end of the game. So.
Yeah, it's good. I went into Dr. Wily with almost a full Night Crash and Silver Tomahawk. Those are his 2 weaknesses. And I left without having to use an E-Tank or spam any game like save states. It wasn't really that tough, right? I didn't even have to like kill myself to try and refill my inventory. So definitely one of the easier final bosses. Not much of a challenge at all, to be honest with you. Oh, there's a cool dinosaur mini boss in in the first Dr. Wily stage. Well, like,
oh yeah,
cool. I mean, it's cool that he's a dinosaur. He's a terrible boss, but I'm like,
but he's a dinosaur.
A dinosaur.
Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You got to take the wins when you can, man. I like. I think this one actually holds up pretty well. So if like somebody was wanting to get into the Mega Man world,
2 and 6.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah. That'd be the go-tos.
Yeah, play those 2, and then like you can say you have the definitive experiences, and like I said, cut out the fat. The ending here is Mega Man defeats Wily. He brought a rope. Good job, buddy. That's awesome. And then he ties him up and he goes to jail. So they captured him. It took him 6 years or more than that, but 6 games. They finally threw him in prison. Good job.
You escaped from me 5 times. Shame on you.
Yeah, fuck. All right, so that's it. So now that comes to the end. We beat 6 whole Mega Man games now on this podcast. There we go. So we'll end with the current thoughts. There we go. So they are retro games. Oh, okay, cool. They're short experiences, and with some save states, they can make for some very challenging and rewarding experiences. The more I played these games, the less I would actually need to save. Right, I wouldn't have to save every screen. I could go maybe a whole stage, half a stage. It was good, right? I beat Rockman stage something like 5 times trying to find that beat letter. It's a very, very solid franchise. I don't know if we'll cover Mega Man 7 through 10. We'll see. Yeah. Right? I know maybe like Mega Man 11 maybe is on the table. Maybe if Tyson feels up for it at some point. But we might, I don't think we'll say goodbye to the Blue Bomber, right? Because we have X2 we haven't played. So there's a couple X on the Super Nintendo that I would like to get to X2 and 3. And then at some point, probably the Legends games, Mega Man 64.
Yeah. Mega Man's always had a soft spot in my heart because, I remember the stupid cartoon.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with that aesthetic, and I was like, so cool. They're so different like bosses and stuff. And to me, that was my pre-Pokemon.
Okay.
That was like, man, I got to catch all these cool characters, and I want to watch every episode. And then I would go back one week, and it was just gone. And I was like, fudge.
But weren't you ever confused that he was all like, he was green in the cartoon and had like that weird little like mask and like yellow trim on his helmet?
No, because I don't think I even saw the first artwork until later on.
No, but like the Mega Man cartoon that you're talking about. You're talking about when Mega Man was in Captor N, the Game Master cartoon, right?
No. But that is a fun reference because that's the best Mega Man.
Oh, that 100%. That's the best Mega Man. Is there a different Mega Man cartoon that you reference? Oh yeah, evil fighting robot Mega Man.
Yeah, but you're right. The goofy green and yellow with the mask on his face, that's the best one.
You clearly pulled it up and looking at a picture of him, I see.
I had to because I was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, right, that little monster.
Yeah.
But Captain N is an abomination. It's so bad.
I was thinking, I was like, I wonder if we ever wanted to just like, we need a break, maybe we should watch like all the Captain N like we should do a series where like we have to watch episodes of that and just be like, what?
We just have to watch one episode of like Captain N, but there's some gems in there. But we should also do like the original Zelda cartoon with the
Excuse me, 34 episodes of Captain N?
Yeah, I thought this was like a 1 season and done. There's 3 seasons of this.
All right.
How?
Do you think does it have a through line? Like if we watched it, would it be satisfying?
I don't know, but there's got Dr. Wily, so you know what? Is this what he's doing while just messing with Mega Man?
So in episode 33, Mother Brain has returned in a last-ditch effort to conquer the Palace of Power. While the N team deals with other demons under the stadium in the world of baseball, Bo Jackson appears.
Epic.
Oh yeah, and they all have like different themes. Okay, cool. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Sure, why not? The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. Yeah, great.
Because that's a good reference that kids will enjoy.
Oh man, I can't wait to watch the Marble Madness episode.
Oh man. We're opening a can of worms. We're probably going to have to do this at some point, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's unfortunate it's there. They have a Donkey Kong reference. You got to play it. Mega Man. There you go. So your current thoughts? Any? Yeah, good, bad, ugly?
Yeah, good. I think I have a little bit more appreciation for this because playing all 3 of these games, since they're so kind of diverse, like 4 is so hard. Like it was made for the hardcores, and then by 6 they're kind of just like, let's everybody be able to play this game, and if you kind of suck at platforming, we'll give you a special suit so you can hover, and you can use it as much as you want. You're like, really? Like you're gonna give me an unlimited jetpack? Unlimited?
Great.
Yes.
Awesome.
Like cool.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Like that's so much fun. So I like that they were trying to make it more approachable, and I like the harder aspects of the earlier games. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. At some points, I would just flick on some Game Genie cheats and just enjoy breaking these games that are really really hard into I like hilarious speed runnings because you're got super jump and also unlimited energy and all sorts of fun stuff. So it's like these games are like I almost love to see like a little randomizer of these games. So
that would be fun. Yeah, something to that effect, right? Okay, awesome, cool. Yeah, Mega Man 7, it just doesn't have the same cute nostalgia. They start making it look closer to X, but you don't get like the X power-ups. But I'm like, if I can't wall slide and jump and dash, what are we doing? I think X is kind of like the upgraded version, right? So that's why I'm a little hesitant to say we'll do 7. I would rather say we'll go to the X series if we're going to Super Nintendo, right? So, but I think they hold up incredibly well. One of the better NES series, right? And I was actually thinking of all the games that we played that we considered series. So the Mario Brothers, Zelda, Castlevania, Mega Man. I don't know if there's any other ones that jump out as kind of like a 1-2 combo that we've hit, right? Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy, sure, great. I don't know if I love RPGs at this point in my life, right? So they'd be a little bit lower. But of those kind of 4 series that I just mentioned, where do you think Mega Man ranks?
I think he's up there because he's just kind of
better than Castlevania series on the NES, anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Better than. It's tough to say, right? Like I'm at the same point where I'm like, it?
To be fair, I think you could make the argument for it's better than the first Final Fantasy because the first Final Fantasy is kind of it has super rough areas. And I think that one dungeon where at the floor you take a step and you get into a battle and it's every step. Whereas that's just padding for padding's sake and difficulty for just adding here we're just gonna landslide it for a bit. This game, I think every boss rush is fun. All the characters are really unique, to a point where they would get thousands of submissions because it's there's something about the style and it's super appealing. So yeah, I mean, just for this, Mega Man's about gameplay, and that's one thing that we've always just kind of preached so much in this podcast. That's gameplay first, and then the rest just kind of falls into place, and that's what Mega Man is. So it doesn't really have those low spots, but it also because it's so samey, it doesn't really doesn't really stand out, but it's always just putting in work. It's always a good time.
Awesome.
So
Cool. Yeah, I'm not going to stand here and tell you it's better than the Mario. It's probably more consistent than the Mario games anyways, right? They kind of find their formula and they just refine it and keep refining it and keep refining it, right? So it's different. And I don't want to sit here and say it's better. Well, maybe tomorrow if you watch YouTube, in theory, you could actually know how we think it stacks up to other games. Call it Zeldas or Castlevanias. So maybe you have to wait and see.
Yeah, you'll have to wait and see.
Look at that, promoting Jones over here. So 2 more sections left to do, and then that's it. We can end our podcast for today and get going. So are you buying it? C, cultural significance. Re, Mega Man 6, where bosses are from. Okay, cool. I guess we'll have to check that.
Okay.
All right, yeah, perfect. So finally, we're going to end with a cultural significance. That's it. We end our Mega Man journey, as it were, on the NES here. I've got one little section for everybody, and then we are out of here. And in true fashion, I made it super complicated. So, are you ready for a cultural significance? I don't even know what we're doing today. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, so in this section, we look at game design, lore inspirations, turning points, interesting stories, talk about how this game relates, give other examples. We tie it all back together in the end. As mentioned earlier, we won't be doing a Mega Man 4 through 6 boss draft as we did in Mega Man 3. I think it would just be a little bit too much recall, to be honest. It does kind of, they blend together, right? We fought 24 random robots in the last 2 weeks. Some I forgot already, some I will never forget. See you, Charge Man. Instead, we're going to look at the origins of the Mega Buster and how it compares to other items in popular culture. We are going to look at the top 10 OG Mega Man bosses. And finally, see how many we came across in this game. And finally, we're going to look at take a geography class and learn about what parts of the world the bosses from Mega Man 6 came from. Neat.
Cool.
All right, cool. So we're going to start out kind of game by game and break this down. So Mega Man 4, the origin of the Mega Buster. I have always cited Mega Man's gun as the Mega Buster. I was a bit shocked to find out it wasn't introduced into Mega Man 4. Oh my gosh, there's like 50 games, and there was 3 without it. Let's make a big deal about this. Let's look at some other examples of iconic franchise items / characters that weren't introduced until a sequel. Now this seems like a cultural significance section, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, so now honestly, this was a tough list for me to work on. I had a hard time finding useful information, right? It's hard to describe what this is, but the trope exists, right? The trope exists. As we go through the example, they'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. If you know, Tyson, if you can help, if a listener can help, even if it's years down the road, you listen to this, get back to me. What do we call this phenomenon? So my examples, for example, is Jason's hockey mask. You think Friday the 13th, what do you think? Jason's hockey mask. That's not introduced until the 3rd movie, right? So we have 2 movies with no hockey mask, and then it becomes synonymous with the franchise.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, so James Bond.
Blofeld?
Blofeld wasn't introduced. There's also Q.
Okay.
Like, he's not in there. He was quartermaster or whatever, and then eventually they changed his name.
But I mean, the most iconic, right? Like, you call Mega Man Mega Buster. It goes synonymous with each other, right? So and I'm talking about like Jason's hockey mask. People think like if I said like draw me Friday the 13th, you draw a hockey mask, right? With a little red thing on it. So it almost has to be a little bit more elite than that, right? And we'll see. The list again isn't perfect. So like Rocky's Eye of the Tiger. You're like, oh, the song from Rocky. What are people going to say? Eye of the Tiger. That's actually not introduced into the 3rd movie, and then it's almost never used again, right? So it's actually not the Rocky theme. It's just a movie or a song that was featured in the third film.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, then this phenomenon happens a lot. Like, I guess it's even like the Ninja Turtles and their colored headbands.
Yep.
Like that, they were all wearing red.
Yeah, it wasn't until the cartoon narrations or even the movies. Okay. Other examples would be like Harry Potter's Deathly Hallows. A lot of fans of that series will be like, oh, the Deathly Hallows. That was like only the last book, really. It wasn't mentioned before that. It wasn't really mentioned before. So it's kind of like that late franchise. Now, I don't think it's as synonymous as, say, the Mega Buster would be, but characters such as Yoda, Lando, and Boba Fett, right? Yoda, Boba Fett. They've both had their own Disney Plus shows, basically, in the last little while, right? And they were introduced in the second films, right? So in the first Star Wars, no hide nor hair of these series favorites.
Yep. And it's just like major characters that get their spin-offs that were not even, they like get introduced in a sequel or sometimes like the 3rd or 4th of a series, and you're like, it's weird how that character just resonated.
Other examples would be then like Khan from Star Trek. I think he was in an episode, but like who's one of the most famous villains? Khan. Bishop from Aliens was it in the first one, but now I mean you can't. Lance Hendrickson has to be in your Aliens movies, right? Puss in Boots and Jesse from Toy Story, right? Puss in Boots I think has his own movies now.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And I got a sequel that's very, very good. So
okay, nice.
Even though the first one was like, I don't even think really a good movie, but
okay.
Sure.
And again, I went through a bunch of lists, and it was hard. Like, this isn't defined as one thing, and I don't know exactly how you call this phenomenon. Maybe it's just a one-off, and it's just random examples, right? And there's no greater. But one had Sirius Black from Harry Potter, and I said, excuse me, if you read the books, you actually know that Sirius Black is named by Hagrid in the first chapter of the Philosopher's Stone, so check yourself, person who read that list. Did you even read the books? Just going to say.
I bet you they didn't. I bet you they didn't read the books.
Yeah, they probably did not. And then as I kept seeing, Davy Jones from the Pirates movies was on the list, and I guess he's kind of iconic, sort of. I don't know. I think.
Yeah. I've always been a bit more of a Barbossa fan. Let's face it.
Now, where's me boats?
Like, he's the best.
Yeah.
And come on.
Good old Gregory Rush. Good times. All right. Again, if anyone has other examples, I'd love to hear from them. I can't really describe the phenomenon, but it exists. And the Mega Buster made that list. All right. So now on to Mega Man 5. Since it was so easy, let's look at the top 10 OG Mega Man bosses, courtesy of MTV.com. Though the list is dumb, and I wonder if anyone actually played this game, because before making this list, because Charge Man was 64th. 64th! He's number one.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some of the guys on this list, and you're like, okay, we get it. You like the fire guys. We get it. It's very cute.
But I don't
like
know.
you got three of those spots. They're all just like fire dudes.
Yeah.
Come on.
This isn't exactly the list. I kind of admitted any Robot Masters from 7 onwards. So just
Okay.
So number 10 was Flame Man from Mega Man 6. Cool. All right. I don't really remember him, and I just played that game. So.
No, because none of the fire guys stand out.
think
They're all just red.
Yeah.
That's their design.
Okay.
Is they're red.
He had fire too. Forgot about that. Number 9.
So Flame Man had the turban on.
Number 9 was Snake Man from Mega Man 3.
Oh, okay, yeah, Snake Man's all right.
Yeah, it was all right. Number 8 was Gemini Man, also from Mega Man 3.
Okay.
Yeah. 7 was Shadow Man from Mega Man 3. Now, if I remember correctly from our draft, I think you went with like picks 2 and 3. You might have went Gemini and Shadow and beat me. So maybe not terrible picks.
Yeah. I think Shadow's not bad. He's pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm trying to like look at all the pictures as we're going.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember Gemini. Gemini's not too bad either.
Yeah, him and Shadow Man in my mind, like they seemed like they were a little bit stronger there. And I was like, oh, all right, okay. Number 6 is Nightman, the scientist himself from Mega Man 6.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Heat Man from Mega Man 2 is in our 5th spots.
Yeah. Who's just a box?
Yeah, sure. Elec Man, who apparently is one of the hardest bosses ever. Sure, why not? I don't remember that's much at all. I guess if you go back and play Mega Man 1 at some point, you'll be like, oh yeah, Elec Man for Mega Man 1. Awesome, cool. He's at 4. You see one of Tyson's pseudo, what he said was his favorite, Skull Man at
Yeah,
3.
my boy.
Yeah, all right. Number 2, we have Metal Man from Mega Man 2. And then, of course, the best guy ever is Fireman from Mega Man 1.
I'm surprised, like, no, not like, what's his name? Like Stone Man? Not Stone Man, like Rock Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess he's like Mega Man's Rock Man.
Yeah. That's confusing
And-
because he is Rock Man in Japan, so.
Yeah, and I'm always trying to, I remember watching the stupid Battle Network show.
Okay.
And Rock Man was a different guy.
Interesting.
Him and Flame Man were like the two main like lackey villains.
Okay.
I think.
Huh. Neat.
Been a while since I've seen that show.
Right.
So
Cool. And that's our list. So again, stupid. There's no Charge Man. He's obviously the best. He even wrecked our draft that we were going to do, and I had to come up with these other little side segments. And finally, at the hour and 30-minute mark, go Mega Man. I guess. I guess we did cover 3 games, so that's fine.
yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mega Man 6. Where are the bosses from? Scratch that. Tyson has to try and figure out which country of origin this is from. So it's a world tournament of the greatest robot masters from around the globe. It's not clearly speculated, but I threw some speculation in the GameFAQs forum. I've got a list. So I've got them written down here, Tyson. You got 8. You got to get 6 to win. So you're allowed 2 wrong answers. So based on playing this game, where do you think Flame Man is from? I believe there was maybe a snake. I think he wore a turban in his head. There was like fire. What do you think?
Well, I've recently watched Indiana Jones, so I'm leaning India.
I think that's a ding ding. We'll give Tyson a check for that one. Great. Awesome. Cool. How about the man, the myth, the legend himself? We would have talked about him more if it wasn't for the delights of Charge Man. Blizzard Man. He's a big fat guy on skis.
I'm gonna say he's from Canada.
He sure is from Canada. He's representing.
Of course.
There you go.
He's got a beer gut and everything,
Oh.
and I'm like, he's definitely Canadian.
There you go. All right. So 2 for 2. Ding, ding, ding. 6 to go. Can Tyson do it? We'll find out. Plant Man. Where do you believe Plant Man's origins to be?
This is really just a guess. I'm gonna go somewhere like Brazil.
Cool. The internet also had no idea South America, Brazil was a popular guest. So we'll give Tyson a clue on that one. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, cool.
Just kind of,
Excellent.
that one was, there's a couple that were like,
questionable.
Tomahawk.
Like,
Tomahawk Man. Where do you believe Tomahawk Man could go?
I'm going to say he's from the United States.
Oh, Tyson's going to run the table here, folks. He got another one. Ding, 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 ding. 4 right answers. You only have to 50% here to win the game. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yamamoto Man.
I'm going to say Japan.
All right. I don't know how you gathered that one, but that was some...
Yeah.
Was it the spear?
My detective hat might have had some tips in it.
There you go. It's probably the little vending machines with women's underwear in it. That was the tip off. You're like, I know where that. I get that reference.
It's like, yes, of course.
All right. Now, we're talking about the scientist himself. He's from the world of science. Where's Nightman from?
This is so random, and I'm like, where the heck? I kind of want him to be from, like, Transylvania, but I know he's Nightman. Where are the knights? I'm going to say England.
Ooh, there you go. Ding, ding, ding. Tyson is running the table, and he won. That's his 6th right. He doesn't have to play the next 2.
Good, because these next 2 are pure guesses.
Yeah, so Centaur Man. This is also one of the ones we're unsure of, so just Centaur Man. Where do you...
Well, I'm saying, so centaurs, I think they're from Greek mythology, if I'm not mistaken. I could be completely wrong on that, but I'm getting a Greek vibe, so I'm going to say Italy.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. That is wrong. It was Greece, maybe? But yeah, you could be like Roman mythology with like Hercules. I think there were centaurs.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be Greece.
It's a Mediterranean feel.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. And then finally, Windman. So this is a tough one too. There was a very distinct enemy in this game, or in these levels. So if you like look, there's like a big bear-looking guy. Maybe that's like your only clue. Where do you think Windman is from?
I have absolutely zero idea. He's the guy that had the big old turbines on the thing on his corners. I'm gonna say Germany. He looks very well engineered.
No, you'd think maybe Dutch. You'd think maybe a windmill, but I think the answer we're looking for is China because there was pandas.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, awesome. So there you go. So Tyson went 7-1, so pretty good. So he became victorious, and not only that, but he got to play all these cool Mega Man games, which makes him a double victorious person.
Yeah,
that's a normal way of talking, right?
Absolutely, especially when you're podcasting for over an hour and a half, and you're still trying to come up with coherent thoughts. But yeah, no, I think these 3 games, I'm happy that we included them. Kind of makes me want to lean more and saying like, yeah, sure, let's dive into the franchise, because I think it is a franchise that like gets pretty diverse. Even 7 and 8 are kind of like them trying to keep progressing the thing, and then I think it's 9 or 10 does the throwback to the originals.
Yes.
So it would be pretty cool. Plus all the spin-off games, and I might make you play the Battle
Networks.
The Battle Network.
I think the Battle Network Legacy came out, didn't it? Just came out.
I think it's coming out.
No, I think it just came out because I was following on Twitter. They had like a countdown. Battle Network.
Oh, cool.
Legacy. Yeah, I think it's available right now, so you can go. Oh, what's that going to cost you though? Let's go Amazon. Yeah, $80. There you go. So wait, see if you see it on sale. I mean, I would not be against playing some of those games for sure.
Yeah, and I think it might qualify for the coupons. So I might do the coupon and grab this, and then grab Zelda digitally.
I might get
just so I can.
Mega Man 0X ZX Legacy Collection. That might be fun too.
Okay.
Like the Zero games might be fun to get to. It's just nice that like Capcom makes these nice collections. You can like go back and have all the games on one system. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, and one big old like pile, and it's nice because you're like having to go and individually source all these, because like even before these collections, if you tried to buy these random games, like some jerk is trying to sell the one game for $1,200.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
be nice.
Or you could spend $20 and get like the collection, or spend $10 and get it on sale.
There you go. Yeah. So if you waited for that, but yeah, cool. I'm glad. There you go. Double winner, like Tyson said. He had a good time with that. Might spur on more random things in the future. Not the most in-depth dive. Like, I bet you if you listen to our Mega Man 3 show and then listen to this show, it's like, wait a second. You guys actually remembered bosses in this one. Yes. 8 bosses is much easier to remember than 24 of them. And especially once you find Charge Man, why would you recall anything else? So.
Yeah, well, especially when you know that there's just going to be a lame fire dude who's going to be shoehorned into everyone.
So many lame fire guys. But yeah, cool. So with that, I don't know. Do you have anything else? Are we done with this show? Moving on. Back to X-Men in 2 weeks, and then...
I think we're back to it.
Sweet. That's awesome. So with that, I think we say goodbye. Get out of here. We've been going for a while, and see you guys 2 weeks, and I think we're playing another game in a month, so that's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. See you guys then.
Bye.